Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another virtual wargaming live battle report. I am your host Nicholas, and today I am playing a 250 point game of Warhammer Fantasy 6th edition Warbands between Bretonnia and The Empire. It has been a while since I have done one of these. The intent was I was going to take like 2 or 3 weeks off because I had a big video project I was working on, which I'm still working on, but all the recording for it and stuff is done. I just need to write a script and edit it, and I didn't want to deal with that. But after that, I then had some personal tragedies. My dog passed away, and work decided that it was going to be an absolute nightmare. So I have just not had the time or energy or mental headspace to record. But I figured, well, it's been about a month now, I should probably get back to it. So here I am, and I am already doing something very ridiculous. Because today, instead of a 4-foot square table for Warbands, we're playing on a 6-foot square table. That sounds like I'm only adding 50% more board. I am not. This is more than double the size, because 4-foot square makes 16 square feet. A 6-foot square makes 36 square feet. So we have 20 extra square feet of table space to play on, and I am using a tiny little army for this. To accommodate for the fact that we have a bigger board, I am playing 12 turns today instead of the usual 6. This is because, as you can see, we're playing with the usual just 12-inch deployment zones, so there is 48 inches between these two armies today. Getting across 48 inches in 6 turns is a nightmare. You're not going to achieve that with infantry most of the time, or if you do, you have like 1 turn to fight. So we're upping the turn count to 12. The reason I'm experimenting with this is I want to be able to do more interesting boards. As you can see, for instance, we have this village area going on. This could not be done on a smaller board, it would just eat up too much of the space. But on this one, it's totally fine. And again, with extra turns, it doesn't matter if it takes some time for models to get through it. The other reasoning is basically, I'm looking at starting I am looking at revisiting the Gold Manor campaign. There we go. Finally got that out. And one thing I wanted to do was have bigger board spaces for the areas so that we could do little sieges, like warband sieges, and just have a fort in the middle. And that isn't going to work on a 4-foot square, but on a 6-foot square it should be good. So, with my rambling introduction out of the way, let's hop into looking at the armies. So, for the Bretonnian side, we have a unit of 5 Knights of the Realm, and they have a Gallant as their leader. And he is going to be the general for today, because, again, 250 points, I did not have space for a Paladin in this army. We also have 8 Men-at-Arms, 5 Peasant Bowmen. Normally they would have their stakes. I didn't want to deal with their stakes, and quite frankly, with the distances that you have to cover in this game, they're not going to be holding still, so it's fine. And then finally, we have 3 Knight-Errants here in the woods. On the Empire side, we have a unit of 10 Swordsmen, a unit of 5 Handgunners, a unit of 5 Greatswords, and our captain in full plate armor, shield, and the Sword of Might. He currently is labeled Elect Account because, again, I'm just reusing some old models today. I didn't feel like doing anything fancy with this. But he is a captain, even though my notes said Elect Account until 5 minutes before I recorded this. So, for objectives, both sides got invade. That means that they need to get a bunch of their guys into the deployment zones. That's going to be quite a tall order. But the Bretonnians need to have 10 unit strength by the end of the game in this deployment zone. The Empire only needs 7 unit strength in here, so either this full swordsman unit or scraps of these two. And then the Bretonnians, quite frankly, if they just get the Knights of the Realm in there, they're fine. So Bretonnia is praying, so that means it is the Empire, and we are going to jump straight into it. So first things first, we're going to march our handgunners forward 8 inches. And I am going to go, why did I deploy them here? And I cannot tell you because I did this deployment over a month ago. And it's ridiculous to me that it's been this long. I would love to tell you all about the video project that I was recording for, but I am trying to keep that a secret. I was originally trying to keep it a secret because my friend who is playing in it did not know what the game was about. That was turn 1 of Empire, by the way. And I have been telling everyone except her what the game was. Because I suppose I can say, it is a recording with 2 of my friends who have barely played any war games before, and I am game mastering for them. I won't say anything more than that. My friend had no idea what the game was about, so she was in for a very amusing surprise when I revealed it. And then, of course, she went to work to tell everyone, and everyone already knew everything. It was very entertaining to me, specifically. So these guys are in difficult terrain, so they go 4 inches, which is 8, and then they're going to go an extra 8 inches. The buildings are all impassable. This is obviously difficult terrain, so they could swing out early, but the goal is we want to get them all the way around. Again, we have 12 turns, so that's going to be end of turn 1. And then we get into turn 2 for our Empire. So they're going to march up to here. I'm not going to push them any further because I'm really concerned that these guys are going to get into range. If I march too far forward, these guys might be in charge range. Off the top of my head, that's what, 16, 16? Yeah, they should be in charge range if I move forward one more time, so I'm not going to do that. These guys are going to march up 8. We're going to go 2, actually. And we're going to hard wheel these guys around. I am also, for the record, still working on the video guide for map tools. I've been writing the script again. It's proving to be a pretty long one. I'm like 40 paragraphs deep into it. And I've only basically covered some of the basic functions of the oh my goodness, I can't speak because I'm trying to play a game at the same time. I've only covered the basic functions of the macros right now. So I've got like how these ones work, but I haven't done anything like the artillery ones yet. So that's going to be the end of the Empire turn 2. I don't think we can pull off a charge on these guys yet, so we're going to wheel ever so slightly. I think this is actually going to wheel correctly. No, it's not. I'm an idiot. Of course it's not. And then we're going to go 15.7 forward. Yep, just like that. And then these guys are going to go another 8 inches forward to take the high ground. And these guys are going to book it forward 8 more inches. I'm growing less convinced that I need the Knight Errants to go all the way around. I think actually if they do that, they're not going to get here in time. So we're going to go 3 inches. We're going to wheel them 1.5. So that's 4.5 inches moved so far. I'm going to pull them back just a little bit. 6 inches. Oh no, they're not going to make that. Damn, unfortunate. Oh, will they actually? Okay, so they technically actually should, but they're not going. Okay, I'm going to move them forward a little bit further. So I said 4.5, 5.5. So it's going to be 6.5. Wheel them. I'm going to just scoot them down a little bit. I'm not going to count that for difficult terrain, even though I technically should, because I could have gotten them around there. So 6.5, 7, 8. So we can go 4 inches into here. And then we will be able to emerge, galloping down the flank. And that is end of turn 2. Alright, so let's lock in a bit more and actually talk about the game. So what we're doing here, we're going to have the handgunners open fire on the Knights of the Realm. This is going to be point blank shots, so we don't have to add the bonus to see if they are in range. We'll hit on 4s, because again, oh wait, no, movement first, I'm stupid, aren't I? Okay, swordsman, 8 inches forward. The great swords, we're going to do actually, we're going to march them up 8 inches. I'm actually, oh, I can't march them because we're within 8 inches, aren't we? Because I'm going to move them up 4 inches to here, which doesn't quite achieve the goal that I wanted, but yeah. I could have charged them, but I wanted to shoot the Knights of the Realm first, so even if I wasn't going to, even if I knew I was in range, I wasn't going to commit to that. Okay, so shooting now, 5 attacks, hit on 4s, wound on 3s, save on 3s, go. 1 dead Knight of the Realm. Less than ideal, but I will take it. And then we're on to the Bretonnian turn 3. So obviously we're going to declare Knights of the Realm at the handgunners. I know that we are within 8 inches, so I'm not going to have to... I say that I immediately measure it anyway, but like, better safe than sorry. But I didn't need to like really think too hard about that. So if they can hold out for a turn, we'll get a big juicy hit in the side with the greatswords. If not, we have a problem. Okay, so next up, men-at-arms. Wheel, that's 1.8. So they've got 6.2 left, so we're going to push them the full 6.2 forward. Because basically we're trying to do the exact same thing we're trying to do here, which is cut off a line to charge, which I don't know if I'm going to succeed on that front. And then finally, these guys move 7 inches to get out. I'm going to go 8 inches before I wheel them. Now 1.5. So that's, 6.5 remaining. I'm just going to push them straight forward. And we'll get them wheeled around to do some flanking on the next turn. Okay, so the combat here. This is going to be 5 attacks. They will hit on 3s, they will wound on 2s, they'll save on 7s. Go. 2 dead handgunners, and then we get 4 horse attacks. Horses hit on 4s, they wound on 4s, these guys save on 7s, they still have no armor, but they survived. So 3 attacks back, hit on 4s, wound on 4s, save on 2s, go. Nothing. Alright, so they've lost by 2. So they have a leadership of 8 because they are within range of the captain. And then it goes down to 5. Nope, they don't make that, so they're going to flee 2 to 6 inches. They'll be pursued 11. And then these guys have to make a panic check, which they pass. So these guys go 11 inches over. That's about the outcome I was expecting. To be fair, 40 points, they killed. 24 points, they kind of did their job. Oh, archers, I'm so stupid. I keep forgetting things like this. It's been a while, guys. That's my excuse. I'm sticking to it. I'll get better at this again. I haven't practiced playing this game in a while. 5 attacks, hit on 4s, wound on 4s, save on 5s, go. Nothing. Alright. That is end of turn 3. Okay, so the thing to consider here is the great swords, while they can, the Knights of the Realm have to turn around and move up and then try and get a charge off on these guys. So I think, okay, I'm even thinking about this. We're going to charge the men-at-arms with these swordsmen. We need to kill them as quickly as possible. This is just a no-brainer situation. If these guys survive long enough that the Knight Errants can get a flank, that's a real bad situation for us. And then the Great Swords. Do I turn them around to fight the Knights of the Realm or no? Let's think victory points real quick. So, currently, the Bretonnians have scored 40 victory points. If we kill all the men-at-arms, we score, the Empire scores 40 victory points in return. If they kill the bowmen as well, that's another 30. And if they can secure here, that's 50. That's enough to win. And that's a really bold place. That's what I'm going to go for. We're going to wheel these guys 3 inches. I'm going to push 5 inches forward. Now that we're off the hill, we can't be charged by the Knights of the Realm for another turn. And we're just trying to bring around to threaten the archers in the coming turn. And our goal is kill all the Bretonnian infantry and then hunker up in their side. Alright, so 5 attacks from our swordsmen. They'll hit on 3s, they'll wound on 4s. The men-at-arms, I did not specify which equipment they have, but I usually take shields on them, so I'm going to assume that's the case here. So they'll have 4 up saves, and that is 2 dead men-at-arms. Actually, I can check. Oh, that's right. No, they have shields and halberds by default, but I'm using these shields here, yes. That is the decision I've made, so that's the decision I have to stick with. Hit on 4s, wound on 4s, save on 4s, go. Nothing. Okay, so outnumber, 2 kills. Yep, these guys are fleeing, 11 inches. Only being pursued 6, though. So we will start off with the men-at-arms. They go 11 inches directly back. The break happens within 4 inches, so even if it is only 4 inches, that's still enough to prompt panic check from the peasant archers. As always, I don't remember how many inches it is that they have to be away, and they have failed with a 5, so they are going to be fleeing 7 inches. So these guys go back 7 inches this way. Alright, so right now, the Empire is winning, all according to Keikaku. Bretonnia turn. We're going to attempt to rally these guys. I forgot the ward save on this guy. Let me quickly make that ward save just in case it matters. It didn't matter. We're fine. Never punished, as they say. So we're going to rally check these two. I'm going to actually remember that I have these dice. Okay, so the men-at-arms have rallied, but the peasants haven't. So they flee 9 inches. In case you haven't noticed, I've updated the macros a little bit from my previous videos. It's just part of the preparation for... I mean, I say preparation for the release as if it's not in my Discord server right now and you can't go grab these files. But preparation for when I finish the video, I suppose I should say. So I can still march with the Knight Errants. So we're going to wheel them around. And we're going to push them forward. About this far. And then we're going to wheel them like so. Basically, I want to make sure that when these guys inevitably charge, they can be hit. But if they don't charge, they can still be hit. And if they charge, then flee past, we've got room to make progress on the greatswords. These guys, meanwhile, are just going to hard turn around. Alright, and they're going to be there. And then that consumes a quarter of their movement, so they have 6 inches to get up to here. And that is end of turn 4. I'd say, wow, this game is flying, but like, yeah, of course it's flying. It's a 250-point game. And nothing could happen in the first couple of turns. Empire, swordsmen are going to charge the men-at-arms. Great swords are going to continue their march across the board. 3-inch wheel. Push forward 1.5, well, 1.6. Minus 1.6 minus 3. Put an extra dot in there. Okay, 3.4, which halved is 1.7. All right. So then this one goes in. We are going to use the halberds this time. No, we're going to use the shields actually, because I want to hopefully only lose by like 1 point from, or 2 points from the rank and the outnumber. So, 5 attacks, hit on 3s, wound on 4s, save on 4s, go. Never mind, that's not happening. We are losing by a lot today. We get 1 attack back that hits on a 4, wins on a 4, saves on a 4, go, nothing. Alright. 7, not even close, even if they had the Knight Errants thing. So they flee 11, we pursue only 7. But we do want to pursue them here, because the goal, technically I think they shouldn't go full speed. So hang on, how far would they go through here? About 3, I'm going to say, or 2.5. So it's going to be 5 inches, so 6 more inches forward. I will worry about this, because I know I have in some of my past videos, and it bugs me when I'm not consistent with how I adjudicate the rules. Even though it probably shouldn't, because it's my game, I can play how I want. I still get like annoyed at myself if I'm inconsistent between games. So, that brings us to the Bretonnian turn. We'll start off with rally checks for these 2 units. No and no. So we're going to go men-at-arms and then bowmen. So men-at-arms are fleeing 9 inches this way. Bowmen are fleeing 5 inches this way. These guys went a little bit further. Actually, they should have been fleeing this direction, now I think about it, but like I'm keeping them going in this trajectory to get away from the swordsman first. Okay. Charges. I don't think the Knights of the Realm are in range, but if they... this is a 12-inch hill. But maybe. Alright, I'm going to declare charge Knights of the Realm into these guys, Knight Errants into these guys. I'm going to hope that I'm not messing this up horrendously. I probably am. Alright, let's see. Yep, that's a failed. But that one... this one might actually work. Hang on. Okay, so we're going to wheel it around 1 inch. And then going straight forward. Oh, yep, that's in. Okay. We got the one that matters here, honestly. And then we just freewheel to line. Whoops. I'm an idiot. Forgot which direction they're meant to be facing. All is well. And then we slide them across to maximize. I think technically you're not supposed to slide them like that. You're just supposed to try and aim them to get in maximally. I prefer the slide across, honestly. Let's go 7 inches forward. I don't know why it pleases me, but it does. Like, it's just something gratifying about, like, touch the unit and then slide them in. Okay. Combat. We are going to have the elector count, the captain challenge the gallant, and he is going to accept, because if he doesn't, he just loses out on attacks. So we're going to have 2 attacks. They'll hit on 4s. They will wound on 3s, and this guy has a 3-up save, so a 5-up save. Go. Nothing. Then the rest of the horse, of course. Gotta remember, it will not work on capitals. The horse hits. The horse fails to wound. Okay. Now then. The rest of the guys hit on 4s. Wound on 2s. Save on 6s. Go. 1 dead greatsword. And then horses. 3 attacks, hit on 4s. Wound on 4s. Save on 4s. Go. Another dead greatsword. Impressive work, horses. So, they had 1 guy out, and there was 5 total, so only 2 attacks back. 2 attacks hit on 4s. I think hit on 4s. I'm pretty sure greatswords are only weapon skill 4. Yeah, that's why I'm not big on them, personally. If they were weapon skill 5 or something, they'd be, like, actually useful. But unfortunately, they're just not that good. 3s to hit for the captain. 2s to wound for the captain. 4s to save. Nothing. Okay, so that's actually a loss for the Empire. They're in the back. They're outnumbered. And they lost 2, so that's -5. Oh, goodness. I think these guys are dead. These guys are definitely... Oh, yep, these guys are dead. Because that's going to be a 7-inch overrun. These guys only went 4 inches, so they all die. And this is now looking very bad for the Empire. That was end of turn 4, I believe. Well, yep, end of turn 4 was last, so this is end of turn 5. Hey, remember how I said I needed 12 turns? I'm not convinced I needed 12 turns. I think 6 might have actually been just fine for this size of board. But the only reason it's fine for this size of board is because we have Bretonnians. So they can, like, cavalry all over the place. And I've been playing kind of aggressively and kind of baboonish. So, how are we going to do this? These guys... Okay, this hill is about 12 inches, so I think they can get a bit of distance still. So we're going to just march 8 inches to get away. And our goal is going to be kind of to get, like, on the hill or something here. Actually, hang on. We're not going to do that. We're going to just hard run for the hill is what we're going to do. So we're going to wheel out of there, 2.4. And then we're going to go 5.6 this way. Because if we can make the hill and get the +1 bonus, plus our rank bonus, that's like our best bet at surviving this situation. So, Bretonnia, These two are going to both make their morale checks, their rally checks. No. Oh, yes. Oh, no. That's actually really bad for the Empire now. Because these guys get to rally, and they're going to rally facing this way. Just sort of center them. They can't see the swordsmen really here, but once the swordsmen get up on the hill, they can. So the Knights of the Realm are just going to push 16 inches forward. That's only 15. There we go, 16. Knight Errants are going to wheel. So 6 inch, or 3 inches, sorry. Gonna go 5 inches forward. Wheel one more time. Go another 5 inches forward. Go an extra 1.5 forward. I'm just not going to bother with the wheel this time. Alright, and that is going to be end of turn 6. So what I'm learning here is, okay, maybe 12 turns is excessive. Maybe we only need 8 to 10 for a normal game. I will conduct more experiments with this. But these guys are going to go up onto the hill 3 inches. And then they're going to about face. And I'm going to quickly wheel them and position them correctly. And I'm going to call this fully on the hill, even though it's technically not. And that is their turn. So that is going to be... Oh, okay, cool. So the men at arms have rallied now. We could just stand here and shoot them forever. Do I want to do that, actually? Hang on here. I have thoughts. What if pull these guys back 3 inches, right? These guys are now within 8, so they can't march, but they can wheel one time and then go 6.5 inches this way. And I'm reasonably confident that they can't be charged. And if they can, like, oh no, the Knights of the Realm can swing around and get them in the next turn. But basically what we're thinking here is I'm going to prepare like a 2-pronged assault on them because I have time to do that. So, peasant archers are going to fire at the swordsmen who are within short range. So we get 5 attacks that hit on 4s, that wound on 4s, save on 5s, go. And that is 3 dead swordsmen. That's 30% of the unit. That's more than enough to trigger a panic check, which they have passed, but they have lost a key advantage in the form of rank bonus. So that's pretty big, and that's going to be end of turn 7. So now we're on to turn 8. I am going to have to go for it. Like, there's no alternative here for the Empire. So we're going to have to, oops, wait, wrong way. You have to wheel them. It's like 0.5 of an inch, yep. Push them forward, barely in range. And then wheel them again. And slide them across to maximize. They get 4 guys hitting. Alright, and then actually I can slide them this way to maximize more appropriately. There we go. Alright, 4 men attacking. They'll hit on 4s. Will they hit on 4s? I think Knight Errants actually are weapon skill 3. Yes, they'll hit on 3s. Nice. They'll wound on 4s. They'll save on 2s. Go. Nothing. Both the man and the horse have the same chances, so roll them together. Nothing in return. But they're on the flank, so these guys win by 1, because they do outnumber, yeah, so they win by 2 actually. It doesn't matter, the Knight Errants have held. And that brings us to the Bretonnian turn, where the Knights of the Realm are going to charge. I'm just going to double check we're in right line of sight. Yes, we are. Okay. Technically, this prompts a panic check, which actually I am going to make the panic check. I know that this is kind of annoying and difficult to deal with, and they have failed. So they're going to break and flee 6 inches, which means away from the cause of panic, which will be this way. Hang on, actually, now I unfortunately need to these guys back. Oh goodness, that's unfortunate. 6 inches away. How far back were they? They were like 12 inches. Yeah, okay, they're not going to be able to pursue, but I will keep them here. I don't think Knight Errants get to pursue them this turn. So that's unfortunate. Rest of the movement. Oh no, wait, it'll be these guys are freed up now, so they can actually like about face a little bit and just try and be in position. And I'm gonna actually like move them this way a little. And these guys would be like this actually, because they are fleeing away. And then the men-at-arms will, right, they're not. Hang on. Oh, I see what I've done. Okay, never mind. The men-at-arms are just going to be stay right where they are, because I have deleted the man who acts as their anchor, and I don't want to set them up again for what is effectively a nothing unit. So, Empire turn, so that's end of turn 8, is it? Yes, end of turn 8. Empire turn 9, they have successfully rallied. So you know what, that's something. And then Empire, not Empire, Bretonnia turn, we're going to charge with both. They aren't in a position where it matters anymore, so we can get both units to face in correctly. Did I have my Knight Errants wheeled the wrong way for a while? I think I did. No, I'm stupid. I had these guys right wheeled. I don't know what I'm doing, is the answer. It's 4 a.m. right this second. It's been a long day. Alright, so we've got all of these guys in, maximizing for contact. Whoops. Didn't mean to grab these two. Maximizing for base contact. We can get all of the horses in. I think we can. That's what, 150 into 100? Yeah, we can. Yep, okay. They can line up correctly. So we're going to do Knight Errants first, hit on 4s. Actually, no, we don't need to do that. They're all the same. So this is going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attacks that hit on 4s, that wound on 2s, and save on 6s. Go. Only one dead swordsman. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And then that is going to be 7 horses, hit on 4s, wound on 4s, save on 4s, go. Ah, there we go, of course. That's what we expect to see. It's always the horses, isn't it? So I get one guy attacking. It's going to be into the Knight Errants, and he misses, so it doesn't matter. Can they? Nope. That's going to be a... Yeah, okay, so I just made a bunch of noises there, which I appreciate does not mean anything. I was checking if they could pass their break check, which they couldn't. He goes to flee 6 inches, and he's pursued 8 and 11 by these 2 units, which means that the game is over, and that is a complete and total victory for Bretonnia. I don't need to calculate victory points. I can tell you off the top of my head it is going to be 300 victory points for Bretonnia, and only 20 for the Empire. I think that went well, actually. I like the bigger board. I liked that I could do this little maneuver. I liked that there was an area that didn't really matter like it could have. I mean, look, I say this all the time. Areas on boards don't matter in most games. You have to play boards multiple times to fully understand, like to fully use all of them. And sometimes you just won't use a certain part ever because it's so unuseful tactically. That just happens. It's part of the hobby. I can see a case where I could have played an Empire strategy revolving around this, set up in the little thing here, set up on the hill, and just play patiently. Just wait for the knights to have to push onto me, hold this barricade, use the handgunners to just thin out the enemy as they approached. Like, that's a strategy that I had available to me. I chose not to do it this time. But overall, I think this went well. I liked the extra turns. I liked the fact that even though, like, we went to, like, 6 or turn 7, when I was setting up here on the thing as the Empire, I could choose to just slow roll it. Like, if I wanted to, I could have not even done this move. I could have gone around and taken extra time to try and get set up and just whittle away at the swordsman, force them to turn around and try and march over. Like, it's just... it just expands the tactical ability in this game. I really like it, and for such a small game size, it works really well. I'm going to test this with 500 points, probably. I'm going to test this with Little Lords, probably. Because Little Lords was also an experiment for the Gold Mana Revisited campaign. So, if you enjoyed that game, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I don't have a plan for next game. I have everything, not everything, I have like the lists and everything set up for a 40k game. It's going to be 3rd edition, 4th edition, 3rd edition, I think. I don't know, I have a pile of books from that era. I don't know exactly which one I feel like playing right now. I know I have used both 3rd edition books for it, so it'll probably be 3rd edition, which would be Space Marines versus Orcs, but that might not be next. It's been like a month since I've recorded. Life has happened. It took me like 5 goes to get this recording started. I am rusty and I need to stick to comfort zones right now. So we might be doing Little Lords next time. I don't know. We'll see. But until then, boy.